And welcome to Downtime Distractions. Again, you're here with me, Mung, and today we're going to be looking at a game developed by Teamy Games Studio. They made a game called Amber Quest in Torch Valley. Now, before I continue and start looking at this game has just been greenlit recently, so there isn't a early access for it at the moment. I believe the developers are still working on it, but there is a demo you can get and download, and this version I'm playing at the moment is the demo version. So we will get ahead and look into that. The game is basically a 3D puzzle, isometric view, bit of role playing, bit of adventuring, bit of exploring. So it's kind of got bits and pieces of everything. So enough of the introductions, let's get started. So the game basically follows this character called Flint. He's on a journey to find the missing, I believe, a missing light source from the city. And the city is basically this sort of enclosed metropolis where everything's all great, and somehow this light source has disappeared or been stolen by someone, and this person that stole this light source or core, I believe, is called Amber, who is a female protagonist possibly or antagonist. I'm not too sure. You do get to use her, I believe, is what the developers are planning to do in future developments. So you follow as Flint, and you're basically exploring these stages. And the neat thing about this game is that the game's very atmospheric. It's very dark, very, mysterious, and I do like that part of the game. It's the lighting effect is pretty cool. The kind of cubism feel to the game is really neat too. The controls are okay. I think they just need a little bit of tweaking. There's a lot of times where I've been more frustrated about um, the controls affecting sort of my platforming abilities. Sometimes I get, and sometimes you can get a little bit stuck on certain surfaces which you think you can just walk right past. So I think they just need a little bit of tweaking. I don't think it's anything major. This is only really a demo, so that's a good thing. They also have these things called quests. So this is just teaching me about jumping. So they do have these things called quests, which I am not quite sure what is the true sort of appeal into getting these quests, because it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't give me any sort of goal or achievement or reward at the end of collecting these quests. It's very strange. So if anything, I think they need to think up of a way to keep players playing by incorporating these quests in a more sort of appealing in more ways of saying of getting the players to be constantly coming back to the game, because there isn't too much of an incentive for me to do these quests. I mean, you collect them, you do them, but and then the stage ends, but you don't seem to really get anything out of it. So that's something I hope the developers sort of take into consideration and think about. So when you pass the stage, you do get to upgrade your character. So you can go to the upgrades and basically unlock or upgrade these certain effects. So you can tell here that I've actually played the game a little bit, and I've collected a little bit of a large amount of batteries to upgrade. So if you upgrade the lantern, the radius of the lantern's bigger. If you upgrade the flight, you can kind of hover a bit longer in flight, and if you upgrade your rod, it becomes more powerful. And your health, this means how many times you can get hit by traps. So there are traps you will encounter, so if you have more health, you tend to survive them a little bit more. Flare again is probably controls the radius of the flare, so you can see more things. You can also, see here's Amber, who's got the core, I believe. So looks like the devs have sort of hinted the fact that you'll be able to use her eventually, and then you can change the way your guy looks. So I'm gonna see if I can. Whoops. Just gonna continue. I'm just gonna see if I can get to sort of like the last stage. No, I can't. Okay. We'll just move on to the next stage. So as you progress into the game, it does get a little bit more complicated. The platforms do get a little bit more interesting. You start getting, as you can see from here, you start getting crumbling surfaces, which you have to avoid and jump and things like that. Elixirs. Now, elixirs are actually quite an important thing to collect in this game, because if you accidentally fall off, woohoo, like this, which will happen to you quite often, you get to use your elixir and turn back time. Again, I'm not sure where the developers were really going with this because I personally thought that elixir was the health potion. Maybe they could change the asset of the potion to look something more like a time traversing item. When I first saw it, I wasn't thinking that that the potion was some elixir that can help me turn back time. So that's a bit strange there. But that's okay. It doesn't deter from the fun of the game. The game is a lot of fun. That's for sure. In terms of the incentive to continue playing the game, that's another thing I will talk about in my conclusion. So here's an example of what I mean by the controls and the movements of the surface. So if you're playing this game, you can notice that, oh, okay, the surface, I should be able to step up on it, no worries. But no, I'm actually stuck in a perpetual state of moving, and unfortunately, it's not moonwalking. So little things like this, I think it just needs a bit of polishing. And I think the developers will definitely fix those things up when this game becomes full release. The game's very, very cool. It's got lots. It's got there's one feature I really do like about the game. It's just a shame I had to play the whole game again and I'm not able to demonstrate it. But there's actually purposes to these little light torch here. They actually light up your lantern when your lantern gets doused by water, which is another trap later on in stages. So you start getting these water traps that will douse your torch, and it will actually make it more difficult for you to see things on the map. And then you have to actually go back to a torch to light it up. I like that. Those little sorts of things, I really, really do. Um, so yeah, I mean the game involves a lot of exploration, and the puzzles are not too complicated. They're quite simple, straightforward. Most of it is just to avoid traps. I'm kind of hoping that the developers will actually incorporate more of the items you use as part of the puzzle. I mean, it would be very cool that if you could use the shield to deflect maybe fireballs to hit a switch that opens a gate where you cannot fly towards. Things like that. At the moment, the shield only acts as a defensive mechanism. It could be incorporated into a more offensive mechanism. I think would be very, very cool, very interesting. The reason I say that is because once I've upgraded my helicopter jumping ability and I can pretty much hover around for a long time, I can avoid 80% of the traps without using any of the other abilities. Um, and that kind of makes the game start getting a little bit sort of a little bit boring because then the puzzles become less well thought out and they just become okay, I'm just gonna fly across the map like this and pass the stage and fly across. So something for the developers to think about. Otherwise, I think some of the features are just seems a little bit kind of hacked not hacked on, like kind of just put in there because I don't know, maybe they thought, oh, it'll be popular if we put in a shield, or it would be popular if we put in a little ability to fire some weapons or something like that, just to make it a little bit more action, a little bit more um, fast pace, a little bit more sort of shooty bangs. But in reality, if you're making a puzzle game, I don't think you need to worry about those things. I think you just have to stick with, well, what your game originally is. It's a puzzle, and I don't think you really need to make it into an action game or anything else more because it's already solid on its own with this platform jumping and these sort of exploration aspects of the game. Having the monsters there to kill is a nice little touch, but I would really like to see more, like when I use the ability to fire something to sort of unlock things, or shoot on a sphere to at certain periods of time, like timing shots to unlock a gate or something. I want to see more things like that. I mean, in the demo only shows you that the purpose of the sort of wand weapon is to take down enemies. And if that's the only purpose for it, then maybe they got to think more about utilizing their feature sets, the items that you gain as a player to help you solve the puzzles. Um, yeah, so those are the sorts of things I'm a little bit concerned about in this game, because those are the sorts of things that help people, that make people want to keep playing the game. And the only thing that I'm a bit worried about for this game is the how long is this game gonna keep people playing? Are they gonna? I mean, what is the incentive for them to play the next level? What is it that makes them go, "Ooh, I can't wait for the next level"? At the moment, it's just the variety of the map, the complexity of the puzzles. But if I can upgrade my helicopter ability, again back to my point, if I can upgrade my helicopter ability to maximum, and I can just fly past puzzles like this, then there's no real incentive for me to enjoy the newer levels. So, something for the developers to think about. Maybe, just a little, sort of my own little opinion about the game. But besides that, the game is very good. For the demo, I think it's done its job. It really demonstrates what this game's about. And if you're interested, I think you should definitely download the demo and have a go. So I'm gonna leave it at there. I've pretty much given you guys the basic idea of what the game is. I hope there's more. I hope they do think about those things I mentioned, and I really think they would have something a lot more stronger if they took the things that I've mentioned into consideration. That would be the difference between this game being a one off game and a game that people will remember and play for a very long time. And that was the 3D isometric view platform jumping role playing game, puzzle game, Amber Quest in Torch Valley. It's a good game. I like it. I think it's a good, solid puzzle game. I just wish there was a bit more puzzle element to it. I wish that they utilized more the wand, the shield, the helicopter, use those things more for unlocking puzzles or figuring out puzzles as the stage progresses. This is, again, mind you, a demo only, so I'm hoping to see more of that kind of stuff. So hopefully if the developers do get a chance to watch this video, that they will take some of my suggestions into play, because I really do think that those factors are the things that keep players playing. It's at the moment with the demo, it lacks incentive. I don't feel like the game is grabbing me, is making me want to play the next stages. I think if they can make the stages more interesting, more crazy, more over the top, and there's incentive for me to unlock new abilities or upgrade my abilities, then I think they've got a very, very good title. But besides that, I think they've got a good solid start. If you're interested in the game, definitely go to their website and download their game, or go to the green light on your Steam and check them out. Yeah, definitely have a go at the game, and see what you think. Again, if you guys like what we do, please subscribe and please join either me, Mung, Mesh, or Rad in the next coming videos.